be able to, there you go. I got it. I just clicked it up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All done. But we lost Sue?
I don't think so. Did we?
I don't see her.
Oh, well, she was, it says Sue Fry and Gentle Dan are both waiting.
You have to let Dan and Sue in, Connie.
I thought you were doing this.
I don't have Connie, you're the host.
I'm sorry.
That's the whole point.
She relinquished the
host and
power.
not the co-host.
No, I made you the full host.
Oh.
Give you like all the practice. So right now you are getting all the practice that you.
I guess I am. So I apologize, Sue, for not letting you in, and Dan for not letting you in because I didn't know I was doing it.
Excuses.
Connie's learning how to host a Zoom meeting. And Sue, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself.
I'm good. Yeah.
Good.
Dan's muted. Dan, you need to unmute yourself. There you are.
Are you sure you want that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We love you, Dan.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So Connie's practicing hosting a meeting because she'll be doing that soon. And I know Sue's doing one this week. So we have two hosters.
Wow. That's almost whelming.
Yes. Trust me, it's almost overwhelming with everything I had to do yesterday and today. I'm going crazy. But
sorry, you were so crazy.
I know. I told people that our Bible study was next Tuesday, the 15th. Oh no, not our Bible study. It was our players meeting, which is 35 people. So far, I've heard from only 2 of them saying, "What is it, Tuesday or Wednesday?" It's always on Tuesday, of course. Tuesday's the 14th. Well, yes, that's fine. I'm not perfect. I know that.
It's okay. In my email reminder today, because I forgot yesterday, I said tech time tomorrow when it's actually today. But I was on the phone with somebody, so I was multitasking.
Yeah, I mean, I was
paying
doing
attention.
Today. Bill had eye surgery yesterday. I had other things on my mind.
How's his recovery?
Oh, fine. He's sitting there reading the paper.
Cataract, that's all.
Oh yeah, it's just cataract.
Oh, just cataract surgery.
Yeah, just cataract.
Cindy, that was a big deal.
Years ago, it was.
Yeah.
Now it's unbelievable. The big deal is putting drops in for a month.
That is.
I remember. I did one eye. The other one's coming up soon, I think.
When you get done, it's amazing the results. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Stephen, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much.
Had he not been well?
Yeah, it was a struggle for the last year and a half.
Oh boy.
But the last month and a half was awful.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Thank you. He's at peace. That's the important thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All we can ask for these days. Look at you, Connie.
Well, I don't know how long Nancy was out there, but
yeah. Sue, do you want to practice sharing a PowerPoint for your presentation this Sunday?
That might help. I just hit share screen, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then I want to hit share.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay, and then I got to get somehow up to I want to get onto my
PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, but I got to get to my desktop.
You're sharing your whole desktop right now.
Yeah, you want to minimize this Zoom window.
I'm just seeing where it says launch meeting, open Zoom meetings.
Yeah, you can close out of the internet.
Oh, so I just hit X to close out of the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what, Lynn? I got it all in a folder. Is that cool?
Oh, your PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
That's very exciting. Oh, for each
Right.
week.
Yes.
Wow.
And then it goes right to PowerPoint.
Nice.
And then
All right.
and that's the first slide.
Oh, it's a great slide.
Yeah. Images of Egypt and the Exodus. And it's a paradigmatic event for ancient Israel.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
You should be
it's
able
about
to go
13
into slideshow mode and
Yeah,
it'll
you-
take up the whole screen.
Well, so you just hit slideshow and go to from beginning.
Correct.
There
Is
you
that right?
go.
Cool.
And then you just move the arrows like you would if you were presenting the PowerPoint,
Yeah. And the big question was, who was the Pharaoh? Who was the one who resisted Moses? That's a question that the scholars are asking. And the word Pharaoh is not a proper name. And in Exodus 1, it keeps saying Pharaoh, 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 but it doesn't tell us who the Pharaoh is. But Pharaoh is a title for an Egyptian king. And the word means great house, because he represents himself in the house he represents. And this stone is called the Merneptah Stela. And on it, an Egyptian pharaoh. Do you guys know whether it's pronounced steel or stel?
It's stele.
Stele. Okay, thank you.
So Connie, since you're hosting a power, do you see you have the power to stop her screen share?
Oh yeah, stop screen.
And I can stop sharing right now, right? If I want to just
Correct.
get out of it.
Correct.
Should I go ahead and just hit stop share?
You can, and that will stop the PowerPoint.
Right, I don't want to bore you guys with it.
This was fascinating.
I was gonna say, keep up. We won't have to go to Sunday school on Sunday.
Right, no, that's just going to get three slides.
Well, I can't go because I'm in the contemporary service, so it's a good preview.
I know, and you see that we never can have a time that's the exact time for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lynn, because that was kind of helpful to walk through it again.
Yeah.
Will it be on the website later?
I'm going to be recording it so
It's
that
going to be recorded so you can listen to it later.
Cool.
And Sue, we decided last night at ASG it's not gonna start till 11 o'clock, so people have time to get home from the others, since it's gonna be all on Zoom.
Jenny's just sent me an email.
Right.
And Lynn, I sent you some handouts.
Yes, I got them for the email today.
Good. Jenny got a copy too.
Good. And I'll have them again on Sunday as well.
Stephen,
Okay,
you knew about Stele.
Yeah.
You could host Jeopardy. I hear the job's open.
Yeah.
I've actually been told I should try out, but I'm not interested in the hosting job. I can't stand up that long.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they get you a stool, Stephen.
Yeah, well, it works
Why
for
not?
me.
Actually, I don't think you have to know anything to be the host. You get to read the cards or the teleprompter or whatever.
Yeah.
But you sure have to watch how you've talked to people for the last 20 years,
Yeah, well, I don't know. Alex got a little nasty in his old age.
Going back to Sue, your
sorry.
one last thing for your I know that Jenny's going to be away on the 19th.
On the 19th, and you know what? I'm so glad she wrote to me, because she and I had talked and she told me she was going on vacation, but then I forgot when. 19th. Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to need to claim host for that meeting so that you can have the sharing ability to do that.
Okay.
And I cannot show you how to do that right now because we're all in here already and somebody's already the host. There's not a way to claim it again.
Yeah, we can do that some other
time. So
time.
maybe next week, if you want to come to Tech Time, we can have you claim host.
Oh, good.
That way.
How to do it.
Okay.
But if any of the pastors join the meeting, they'll also have access to be host. So they can let people into the waiting room, or they can help with the waiting room.
And anybody who's with me can assist me on being host or having me.
Yeah. So like this
whatever,
week, Jenny can admit people in from the waiting room and things like that. It helps when there's multiple hosts.
And, you know, I sort of know this stuff, but it's been a while.
Yeah, you did this before.
Well, another thing that's really cool is that I teach occasionally to students in Nepal, and that's all Zoom.
Yeah.
So I'm getting acclimated to it.
In Nepal, no less.
Yes.
I guess
it's amazing. And you know, it's done no differently than how you do Zoom here.
Right.
So what Connie's doing, she could do with somebody in Spain or something.
It's amazing.
There's only one classmate that lives outside the country, and he's in Canada, and I don't think he does Zoom, but he did get a video. Okay. That was the other thing I'll have to learn out afterwards, is how to share the video link. But I don't need to do that before I've done the Zoom.
Is it a YouTube link?
Okay.
Well, no, they just sent me a link, and I haven't looked at it. But this guy really enjoyed we did one Zoom, but I was part of it, but I wasn't a host or anything. And the host says, I don't want to do another one of these. It's on you, Connie.
Good times. Oh man. So yeah. Good. We got you all sorted.
Hopefully. And nobody else is coming in.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
Languishing in the waiting room.
I'll have emails waiting for me when I'm done here saying I was lost in cyberspace for half an hour.
Well, this is about the time that I usually start knocking on the door and trying to get in. So I'm actually early for me.
Oh.
Dan, do you have any questions this week?
Well, about life in general, or?
Sure.
There's some experience here. You could ask away.
Yeah, that's what I would call the good news and the bad news. Ed and I were talking, and just for an idea at some point, maybe one of the things we could, you've done it before, I think, but take on here is review again Norton versus the different
Antivirus.
Yeah. Those softwares and so on, and the pluses and minuses. I seem to have them, and I still have problems. I guess I don't know why that is.
That's because the bad guys are always ahead of the good guys.
Yeah.
The good guys are playing a reactionary game.
But I get every virus, whether it's in real life or cyberspace or whatever. I just attract them, apparently. I'm serious.
But you didn't get COVID.
No. That's right.
You might try changing your email address, Dan.
Well, pardon me. It's Gentle Dan too.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to excuse. I was thinking about hard ass Dan. What do you think?
I think you need both.
Okay. Oh. No, really, that somebody had said, I tried to, I won't go into this, but I tried to negotiate a used car with a guy in Exton, and he asked me what my email address was. I told him Gentle Dan too, and he laughed at me and said, don't try to negotiate a used car and tell him you're
Gentle Dan.
So that's why I talked about the other one. Anyhow, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned that, but
no.
But these
negotiator@gmail.com.
I am I am considering making a change and using Gmail, and then sticking with and then just family and some friends to the general audience. So I'm thinking about that, but
I would highly recommend that, Dan, just because it's a better way of trying to get rid of all the phishing emails.
People, yeah. What you, with all the people in the world out there, look at me. Why would you steal this identity? You know, why would, I mean, I would pick any of your identities before I pick me. I'm just not a logical candidate, I wouldn't think. So
see, for the bad guys, you're the perfect candidate because you're not as tech savvy as I am, you know? So they go, oh, he's more trusting and, you know, willing to, you know, answer every email, where I'm like, this person's a robot. I'm not answering them.
Yeah.
well, I think I feel better now. So yeah, I don't know.
Along those lines, oh.
No, go ahead.
Along those lines, I have a question. I got an email this past week, from someone who I had emailed with maybe 10 years ago or whatever, but we had, and maybe a little more recent than that, and we had been exchanging Christmas cards until, I don't believe I got one from her this last year, but maybe the year before. And so we had gotten to only like a Christmas time, but we kept in touch. All of a sudden I got an email from her. It was her right email address. And it was said Happy Labor Day or something. And it looked like it was going to be a picture of a, you know, just a thing. I just don't think she would have sent that out of the clear blue. So I didn't even click on it. But there was no way to prove that. You know, it's just, like I say, everything looked totally legit, except that she's never sent me a Happy Labor Day email.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible? It could have been her. I mean, that's the sort of thing I maybe would do. It could have been her. Well, and that's terrible. You can't even.
Yeah, that did happen.
And that's why you're a target, Dan.
Exactly.
Although one year that I didn't send out Christmas cards because I was away over Christmas and stuff, I did get in February an email from a friend that I always send Christmas cards to. And I was afraid to open that too. And so I forget if I sent her a snail mail or what, it was a long time ago. And she even sent me one or something, said, I'm really worried about you. I haven't heard from you. And I said, that's because I didn't trust that email. So
yeah, well, you can send a separate email. Just write a totally separate email to her and say, I got an email from you. Did you send it?
Well, you know what? That's what I did with Karen Finley's thing. But didn't you say something about they were actually taking her email address? So could they have still gotten it through her if I sent it to her separately?
Do you have
so one of the things that the hackers have figured out to do is to have all of your, if they are able to get into your email, they forward all your emails to their email account. So they don't have to log in every time. So it would notify them every time they got an email. Granted, your friend would see that email, but the hacker would also see it. So depending on who saw it first, actually, you know what? It would still be marked as unread for your friend. So your friend would see it on their own, but the hacker would also see it. What I would suggest doing, what's challenging about these two cases for you is you're not in good communication on a regular basis with them the way you are with like Karen Finley or me or Don or someone. So I would call them or email, or I would call them, text them, or snail mail them, and just be like, hey, FYI, this. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, if it's just a Christmas card letter type person.
I like what you said about, you use that word, it's not used that much anymore. I will call them, that thing you have there, the thing called a phone. listen.
Did I hear a call?
Listen to me. You can actually talk into it.
Talk into this?
You can use big words. Yes, you can actually talk into it. You can use real words. You don't have to use words that God never invented. You can use real words and talk to somebody. Then you know who you're talking to. So it's hard to, you can sing happy birthday rather than text happy birthday and so on. So that's an option, right?
Some people might prefer a birthday text.
Yeah.
Especially if they're under the age of 40.
I get so many birthday greetings anymore. If everybody called me rather than texted me, I would do nothing but talk to people on my phone on my birthday.
Well, I just turned the big 7-0 a couple of days
you
ago.
poor baby.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I got several phone calls. I got happy birthday sung to me. I got Danny Boy sung to me 3 times. And it turned out to be a 3-day birthday. So it was wonderful. So
Nothing wrong with that.
Wow, I didn't know guys were allowed to have multi-day birthdays. I thought only women could.
This was the first, living in a testosterone deprived environment, all girls, they always had these extended birthdays. This is the first year I had. So Stephen, you have to turn 70.
Okay.
Well, we can sing to you now and it will even extend it even farther.
Yeah. It was the Bible says you given 70 years and 80 with strength. So I was praying for a lady once a while ago, and she was an older lady, and I used that scripture when I prayed, and she looks at me and she said, I'm 83. What am I supposed to do with that? You know, so I don't pray that scripture anymore, but anyhow, I digressed. My original comment had to do with reviewing those softwares. Might be something we could do sometime.
Yeah. They're all pretty much comparable to each other. As Stephen says, you know, we're retroactively fighting these bad guys. So they're always 3 steps ahead of us. So the software can only stay so far, you know, they can't catch everything.
Yeah, they're always coming up with new ways to mess you up.
Yep.
When I read about 0-click text phishing scams, I was like, how is this even possible? And there's no way to protect yourself against them. So.
Yeah, that, without going into it, that problem that I had here a while back, where they said somebody had gotten my information on, and was going through it. How do you avoid that? I mean, that isn't picked up by any of the, like the Nortons can't pick that sort of thing up.
So that was your email. It's a phishing via email. So that was completely separate from the antivirus. The antivirus stuff does stuff once it's on your computer, but phishing scams, clicks a link or you give them the password and they're able to get into your email that way, which is all cyberspace. So it's 2 different ways of protecting yourself. Okay. You have to protect your computer hardware, and then you have to protect your cloud self and your email self.
Did they have my sense? Did they have my email password then?
I don't think so. I think we resolved it so that was no longer a thing. And I think that's what that MSN thing that you got is doing.
Okay. I won't go. Okay, that makes sense.
But the only way to avoid anything on any device, whether cyber or hardware, is not to use the internet. That's the only 100% proof, way of getting no chance of doing anything.
You keep talking like that, I'm not going to have a sweet day. So
come on.
I think I may have shared this, but maybe not. But in 2018, somebody took over my Skype account, which is a Microsoft product. And I got emails that said you need to put more money into your Skype account. Of course, I hadn't been using it, so I didn't. So I tried to sign into my Skype account and I couldn't get in because my email and my password didn't work anymore. So so there was no way to close the account. I called Microsoft and they said, oh, you can't, you have to sign in. We can't close your account for you. You have to close your account. I said, I can't close my account because I can't sign in. and this went on. And they said, we recognize that the people using it are not the original owners of this account, but the original owner has to close it. And I ended up having to go to my nephew who lives in Paris, who works for Microsoft, to get him to go back channels to get somebody to close it. And it still took 6 months before it fell off the, So I don't like Microsoft.
A lot of people don't.
That's the key.
And this is why you now are on Macs, right?
I've always been on Macs. I was only on Microsoft for work till travel could get onto Macs. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the scary thing about this kind of stuff.
Well, and if you die and you don't leave all your passwords to do things to somebody else, your email is going to be on there forever.
And I think we've talked in this time before about, after like someone dies, passwords lost, always having those kind of like, here's your paper will, here's your thing, but then also here's your digital self. So you can protect, and you can actually set your Facebook profile so that so a friend or a family member can close it for you once you're dead. Or they can kind of do a in memorandum and like have people post, comments about you after you've passed. But it says you are passed away. So if people go looking for you on Facebook, they're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that X person
she died 3 years ago.
died 5 years ago.
Right.
But, you don't want your Facebook to live forever,
Well, you're just full of them today, Lynn.
Today's a depressing day, rain, end of life, cyber self,
Well, are any of you on Steve Garnis-Holmes' email list? Lynn probably is. That's what I figured. Did you read today's?
Mm-hmm.
It was very good, and it had to do with the whole way most of us are feeling about COVID and all the rest right now. So it fit in right with our discussions and all the rest.
About the antivirus software, should I have it on both my laptop and my desktop computer, or does it go back and forth?
It depends
have
on
a separate product on each machine.
Okay, well, my computer, my desktop computer, only has whatever they gave me, Microsoft gave me. I don't have one on there. I think I told this before, I forget the name of it, one of the free ones. And it turned out that really wasn't a good thing. And so I've had no trouble there. My laptop came with one, and it's about time, well, not quite. It's about 2 more months until I need to renew it. So should I try to just renew it for the laptop and then get a different one, or get the same one for the desktop?
Some will let you have multiple licenses so you can protect multiple devices.
Okay. And that way it's under one email and password too.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Or
if you're happy with what you have on the desktop, you could just reconsider, or you could consider just renewing. Thank you. The current one on your laptop.
That's probably what I do, because I forget. That was the only part about it, I guess. But I had the question.
My crazy stepson says, "Oh, just use Windows Defender. You'll be fine."
Well, that's what I've been using, I guess, and it has been fine. And
which machine?
On the desk, on the regular computer, the 6-year-old computer. That's my desktop one. And I've had no trouble. So if it ain't broke, I don't know if I want to fix it. By the way,
I would look into, when you renew, getting a multi-computer license and using the same thing on both machines.
Okay. The only thing that I'm wondering about that is that when I got my laptop, I thought I signed into my Microsoft account, but I've been getting on both computers, I've been getting a thing about, we need to fix your account. There's some problem. We think you probably switched the password. So about a month ago, I went in on my desktop and went through all this stuff and said, everything new and everything. And I got an email saying, congratulations, everything's good, blah, blah, blah. You can now sign in or whatever. And then from that was fine. The first time I went back to that computer and went to my laptop, I got the same message again. So I don't know what it is, if there's still a discrepancy or what, but the message doesn't seem to go away when I fix it. So and it's not something I can have you share my screen, because the problem now is on my desktop one. So I don't know.
Right.
But I just ignore it, because it seems to work when I ignore it.
I've completely ignored my MSN or my Microsoft account for my lifetime. I'm not interested in what they're selling.
Yep.
So I don't maintain it.
All right. That's my philosophy too.
Wow.
And I have another question if there's nobody else right now. The speed test. I did the speed test on my laptop. It came out upload 21.05 and download 12.56. That's pretty slow, right?
Yes.
Not as slow as mine.
Well,
it's yours.
But on my laptop,
Whichever one's the lower number is 3, and it's going to cost me $20 a month to get it up to 5.
What?
5 and 50 with Comcast, because we have this, it's a bulk thingy with Marist Grove. So we don't pay for our basic cable, and to get the speed up for the internet, it was going to be $20 a month extra. And I said, well, I'll wait till I get my new computer and see whether I really want to do that.
That gives it from 3 to 5, what? 3
megabytes per second, but I don't remember whether that's the upload or the download. Probably the upload, right?
And it's actually megabits. It's not even bytes.
Oh, it's bits. Okay. It's a bit of a byte.
Okay. But my desktop computer, the test doesn't even run. I click go and nothing goes. And I know years past, I've run tests on it. I don't know if a different speed test might work or not. But even when I signed on today, before I was in the waiting room, the first time I tried to get on, it said no internet. And I'm going, okay, I know there's internet. So I always just do it again. So I don't know if Verizon's doing something sneaky to me or what.
Mm-hmm. Did you check your Verizon account to see what you're paying for?
No, I didn't. It's probably, because I forgot that I hadn't done that. I think it's 100, because I think the last time, which is almost 2 years ago, the offer they gave me was 100 both ways, because I had been just 50. So that's really bad.
One of the problems is your Wi-Fi speed is going to be considerably lower than a hardwired speed.
And the numbers are for hardwired wired, but even still, you should have higher numbers than that.
Yeah.
Well, but my computer upstairs is hardwired, and that one the test doesn't even run.
That's even more disconcerting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be curious to try a different speed test. Yeah, if you Google speed test, there's like 20 of them that pop up.
And there's no
Verizon has their own, but I don't know that I trust it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you have the Verizon app on your smartphone?
Me?
The My FiOS, yeah.
No, I do not.
Because I know you can run a speed test off your smartphone from their app. So I'd be curious to do that, but because that's whenever the internet's down, I do that.
But I'm trying to keep my computer and my cell phone as far apart as I can.
You don't trust them, huh?
Right.
They can't be together?
No.
Well, they make more megabits when you keep them together. purely going for this laugh.
Yeah.
And we're too dumb to get it.
Well, I'm laughing, but it's not a loud laugh. So it's
just a smile.
I appreciate your veiled snicker.
But yeah, I'd be curious to see what's going on.
I guess I have to bite the bullet and call them. I absolutely hate that. It raises my blood pressure 600 points every time I have to wait on hold for them or try to talk to them or try to understand them or whatever. So I've even gotten to the point that I just stick with FiOS. I don't care when they raise the price and whatever, Comcast would be cheaper or whatever, forget it.
I find them very easy to work with via text in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
I'll try that.
I find my blood levels not nearly as high as when I call them.
Right. Although they sometimes don't, they just give you the closest answer. It has nothing to do with it, but it had one of the words that you said. So they give you, here's the rote answer, and it doesn't, but.
Well, that's part of the problem. The first level technicians are told, well, here's your script. Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? What happens when you do this? And they don't know anything past that script either.
Right.
So
right.
When you go to the second level people, that's when they start talking over your head.
do you know that business I was going through with Microsoft, MSN and Microsoft?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to call them to make sure that I was actually talking to them and not one of the bad people. Do you know you cannot get a phone number for Microsoft?
Right. Yep.
They're not the only ones.
Google, it's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with my world? Here I talk about wanting to talk to people in real talk, and you can't even talk to people. You can't get a phone number for Microsoft.
No. The only time I've ever seen a phone number for Microsoft was when I had a licensing problem reinstalling Windows on a machine, and there was an actual phone number where you could talk to somebody in India who would guide you through the process. But that's the only time I've ever seen a Microsoft phone number.
They had a phone number, and I called it, and it would go two ways. They would, if you were calling about a technical problem, they would send you to somebody and you do it. But if you're for any other reason, they said they're only doing it by online. The chatting that you like so much.
Yeah.
It's the only way that they would do it. They couldn't talk to a real person.
Mm-hmm.
You realize half the time when you're chatting with an AI program.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start having Prozac with me when I come to these meetings or something. I don't know.
It's one of the reasons I like Apple, because they have a really good helpline and support. Oh my gosh. And the fact that they do both the hardware and software, it means you're not trying to figure out who to call.
Who's it for?
You know, and they're not going to pass the buck to Microsoft or Dell or HP. It's lovely. Their tech support is absolutely amazing. It's worth the price of a more expensive computer in my book.
I chatted with him last week. I chatted with him last week about my website that I couldn't find.
Did you get that resolved?
It's working, but I don't know how it happened.
They're not going to give you your secrets.
Was it after you talked to Apple or before?
He had me shut down or restart my computer and hold down the shift button so that it would start in safe mode.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
Okay. So when you shut down a computer, you lose the chat.
That's a good way to get rid of you. Yeah, that's right.
So it came up in safe mode, and I tried to go to the website, and it worked. So I restarted again and tried to go in regular mode, and it worked. But I don't know what anybody did. I don't think he did anything other than tell me to shut down and go to safe mode. But it seems to be working now, and I have no clue why.
Safe mode does do some extra stuff to reboot the system. It's the second level of after force quit or force restart.
Okay.
It's the second layer of that.
Yeah, it may have flipped the setting that resolves your problem behind the scenes.
I don't know.
I should have suggested that. I apologize. I didn't even think to suggest that.
Well, I didn't think of it either. I didn't think that would solve the problem.
I would have thought just a hard restart would have fixed a bug like that.
I did that. I tried that.
I know you did.
Yeah, but it didn't seem to work before, but it's working now, and I'll take that. But it's only working in Safari. It's not working in Chrome or Firefox.
Still?
It's very strange. But I'll take it in one rather than none.
Might you have to update either of the other browsers?
They're all up to date.
Okay, because I know Firefox sends updates every other day these days.
They're all set for automatic update. So if there's an update out there, it's going to install it.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, other than that, I have no idea what he did or how it happened. But like I say, once you restart the machine, you lose the chat.
Yeah, unless you're on another device.
Yeah. So it was unusual, but something seemed to click in there, and it's working. So I'll take it.
Right.
Oh, got a visitor.
Bye, Stephen. Have a good week. Yeah, well, I'm glad you got it at least on Safari.
Yeah. It's one place is, but like I say, I can get it on my phones, and I can get it on my iPad, and I can get it on my wife's PC in Chrome, but not on the iMac that I'm on now. It was just kind of weird.
It's weird. Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right. The chat guy was nice. A guy named Phil. He was very helpful up to a point until I lost him.
I'm sure he would have been just as pleasant.
I'm sure.
But since it's resolved,
I don't know.
It's still bizarre.
Where would that Phil have been located, you think?
Where was what?
Where would that Phil, that guy you were chatting with, where would he be in the world?
He could have been right next door to you at your house, but I have no clue where he was. And since he was typing, you can't tell what nationality he was. He was typing relatively normal English. So he could have been anywhere, Dan.
Yeah, and I don't know where Apple has support teams,
No clue.
I'd have to do research, but it really doesn't matter.
And they probably have more than one. So figuring out which one you had is probably not going to be easy either. So
sometimes they tell you if you ask, but not all of them.
Yeah, I didn't bother asking.
Exactly.
He was typing, so therefore I could understand him.
All of the times I've talked to them on the phone, they've been pretty, like, I haven't noticed they're from other countries, like the way that you notice some countries. Like some tech, you're like, oh, this person's definitely in India or Asia. But I have not noticed that at all with any of the
Sometimes if I have someone like that I'm struggling to understand, I'll just hang up and call back again. The chances of getting somebody that's more understandable are better than 50%. So
sometimes
I've also asked to be transferred to people before too.
I like
kind of embarrassing, Can you transfer me to someone who speaks English?
I've done that.
That's not appropriate.
But then you're on hold for another 25 minutes until
Exactly.
somebody else picks up. Yeah. And then the next person was just as bad. So
yeah. Anyway, it's not as bad as that IT crowd episode with the French.
Yeah.
Any other last minute questions before we wrap up for the week? I hate anyone to miss anything.
I'm okay.
You're okay, Dan?
I'm working my way back to adequate.
Now you just need to set up a second email account and you'll be all set.
Yeah.
If you do that, Dan, you're going to want to give your friends and family the new one, not keep General Dan MSN as your current one, as your friends and family, because otherwise it's still going to be mixed in with all the junk.
Right.
So it's a little painful, but it's worth it.
You mean, so I don't want to keep getting the Rite Aid and Acme coupons?
No, you do, but you don't want to get them.
No, he doesn't.
That's the I want to get rid of that stuff.
You can also open those emails and go to the bottom of the email and look for the very well hidden unsubscribe link.
I do that frequently.
Yeah.
I just went through both of my email accounts and did that for at least 25 times.
Just be careful because sometimes they're dark patterns and they'll be like, are you sure you want to do this? But they word it in a way that it's the opposite of what you think you're doing.
Yes.
So be very careful that you're clicking on the right unsubscribe one, whether it's yes or no, because sometimes it changes depending on how they phrase it.
Just having this discussion makes me tired. To do all that.
So if you just are like, I don't want to deal with trying to unsubscribe, just create a new email. And then if you do need a coupon for Acme, you can go to the MSN and find one.
No. Some of the organizations that send to me that I'm not interested in, I just mark it as spam. And then the stuff does go to my spam folder. So, because I've done the unsubscribe and they didn't. So, okay, just put it in the spam folder.
And that's a good practice.
People do that to me all the time. I'm Dan Spam. I've been spammed.
It's a good practice to do if you get an email that's either phishing or, kind of any kind of email you don't want, whether it's promotion, send it to the spam, and then your email will learn that you don't want to receive any emails from, AC Moore in your inbox. You want them all to go to trash or spam.
Yeah, and then you do have to empty your spam folder every once in a while, unless you like having thousands of things in it.
Right. But you should also look at it before you empty it too, because sometimes they think something is the same and it's not. So
right.
Yeah, mine empties itself of 30-day-old emails constantly.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And if I haven't looked at it in 30 days, bad on me.
Oh, out of your inbox, it deletes
The
them?
spam.
No, spam.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
I should have that for my emails. But if I've not put it in folders
If I haven't talked to you in a month, forget
Mm. Yeah.
But
no, you'd set it to 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a tidy inbox. Oh man.
Right.
Any last words of wisdom for the week?
Wear a mask.
During your Zoom meetings?
No. That might be overkill.
Oh man.
Mm.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
Well, Connie has the power to end this meeting for us.
Well, I just click on end, right?
Yes. Did you record this to the cloud, Connie, or did you record this to your computer?
I have no idea. Oh, it's a picture of a cloud. So I'm guessing it was recorded to the cloud.
Okay, good.
Is that where it's supposed to be?
Yes. Then I can download it off the internet and I don't have to get the hard copy from you.
Oh, good.
Or you'd have to upload it to the church website or a YouTube account.
Oh, no. I think that's because you started it and did that. I didn't even realize there was a choice. So when you do record, if I wanted to record the one I'm doing, I have a choice of whether it's to the cloud or to myself.
Yes, to either your hard drive or the cloud.
And if I do it to my hard drive, does that mean I can then email it to those people that missed it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so if you record it to your hard drive, it will store it like a video file on your computer. But sometimes you don't have enough storage space or things like that. So
well, I do it on my new computer, I should be okay. But and it's going to be a 40-minute limit because I'm not going to pay to do it.
Right. So that's a good.
Pay.
Yeah, but cloud will go up to the Zoom. You'll log into the Zoom account and download it from there. That's what I do for all the journey classes and things like that, because I don't always make it to all those meetings. So,
all right. Okay, so I don't need to stop the recording. I just need to click end.
Yeah. And you have the choice of end and assign a host or end for all.
Okay.
And you'll say,
bye guys.
All right. Thanks everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.